So, John,
Yes.
um, how and why did you start the PhatKatz Flipflops?
Well, I'll tell you, I've been coming to the Philippines now for about the last 6, 7 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I've really learned to love the community, love the people, the culture. I can honestly say, like the Filipinos are extremely gifted, talented people. They're great with like dance, music, arts, any of that kind of thing. They're just they seem to really know how to enjoy life,
Okay.
and that's what's been bringing me back to the Philippines over the course of these years. Um, that being said, with all the beauty of the Philippines and that, there's also a side that's really not that great, and that's unfortunately the extreme poverty, and
Okay.
it's quite saddening. We had well, I was doing a restaurant kind of place in Baliwag, Bulacan. A lot of the Filipinos that know me know about the Tiki Hut and that, and I remember on many occasions, I would be sitting there having my lunch or dinner, and these street kids would come around, and you could see they were dirty.
Yeah.
Not really kind of any parenting going on or anything like that with these kids, and they just, they needed a shower, they needed clothing, they needed a lot of things, but footwear, that's the flip-flop idea, and of course food. But anyway, it's like I was sitting there eating, and these kids come in, and it's just like, well, how can I continue eating and enjoying my meal when there's 4 or 5 kids staring at me, and you can see they want food, right? So it's just like, being the type of person that I am, I can't eat, and knowing that those kids are like that. And unfortunately, the person that I was with, they said, no, just ignore them. I said, basically, I think some of the Filipinos have the attitude that, well, if you help one, 2 more are going to show up the next day.
They're going to ask for your arm.
The whole town there, right?
Exactly.
And I get that kind of mentality, but that's still not an excuse not to help. And so, that weighed heavy on my mind, the extreme poverty and that. So I thought, I've got to do something. There's an organization called the BBC, the Baywalk Beach Cruisers. Great bunch of guys, and I met them through the first business that I started here, and that was with the Fat Tired Beach Cruisers, and I met them through that, and it was a lot of fun.
So, John, you were doing this bike business, and you've met a lot of friends in the BBC, and how did you end up doing flip-flops from there?
Well, I really wanted to give back to the community. Seeing all that poverty really bothered me, even though there's a lot of beauty here, some of the best beaches in the world, but the poverty kept coming back to me, and it bothered me a lot, and I thought to myself, how can I help,
So there's this concept of you want to help, but how did you end up conceptualizing something? What inspired you to do this?
Well, I'm sure some of you have heard the company called Tom's.
Yeah.
They inspired me. After I started getting into this flip-flop idea where it's just, give one and for everyone that's sold, I started looking into also Tom's. It's just like, wow, there's quite a bit of similarities. So I don't have a lot of money, and this whole project is not about money. It's about giving back to the community, giving back to people that really need the help. One of the philosophies in my life is that if you're in a position to help people, you gotta help. And I'll tell you one thing, if more people thought that way, this place that we live on called Earth would be a lot better. It still bothers me that the fact that poverty still exists in our planet. There's no reason for it. And I think basically what it comes down to is just greed. For some people it's never enough. They've got to have the bigger car, the bigger house, better everything. They've got to outdo their neighbors.
Better shoes.
Shoes. And it's kind of crazy, you know, because really, as long as you have food on the table, a roof over your head, and you're in good health, you're way better than the average person. Every time I would go to Manila, we'd go to this shopping center called Visoria. There was a shop that I would go to, and I would be buying my flip-flops from there.
Okay.
And that's how I met Jody and Dino.
Okay.
And they're the owners of the shop that I would buy the flip-flops, and I love their flip-flops. And they would last forever. The quality was super. And it got to the point that anytime I went to Visoria, all my Filipino friends that were in Hollywood, Bulacan would ask me, Johnny, can you pick me up some flip-flops?
Okay.
You know, because they were so good and the price was very reasonable. So anyway, that's where I got my idea. It's just like, well, okay, these guys are making good products. So what happened next was I started talking to Jody and Dino about their shoes and about my idea of this 1-for-1, where, you know, for every flip-flop that we sell, we'll be giving one to a child that needs some footwear.
What made you fall in love with buying their stuff, or, you know, with the stuff itself?
Well, because a couple things. The fact that they're a local company, very grassroots. It's a small business. It's not this big, huge company. All the materials that they're using are made in the Philippines. And it's really important to know too that their flip-flops are not machine-made. They are handmade. They're put their own, you know, blood, sweat, tears, soul, whatever you want to say, into the manufacturing of their flip-flops. And to me, that's a very special thing, because nowadays machines are making everything, and I'm telling you, humans are going to become obsolete.
And specifically, they're all made in Marikina.
They're made in Marikina, and for some of you that doesn't mean anything. For Filipinos, they know that is
the shoe capital
of the Philippines, baby. Yeah. You know, if you say your shoes are from Marikina, it garners respect.
That's the river, the Marikina River. Runs
Are you far from the Marikina River?
Yan pare, hindi. Ayun yung Marikina River. Kaya pag tumataas yan, bumabaha talaga dito.
So naapektuhan din yung mga trabahador mo. Dito sila?
Oo.
Okay. Alright, let's go.
Ah, okay, so that's the sandal that
For trekking?
cloth is just not a simple, you put the deck on and call it what it is. Right? So kind of wanted to do that. And you can see here on the inside as well, Philippines 1-for-1.
What does 1-for-1 mean?
Basically, for every flip-flop that's sold, you'll be giving one flip-flop to a child in need.
Okay.
So, and we're doing that through some of the orphanages.
Great. Sir Gino, ito yung umpisa nung production.
Okay, in-store. Bali, ito yan. Yung pinaka-ibaba.
Okay.
Yun na, ilalapat na yan.
So ito na yung nakat na. Okay. So yung dalawang portion. Pagkatapos mag-coat ng ganyan, pag pinagdikit mo yung dalawang magiging ganito. So ito yung mga raw materials
Ating raw
nyo.
material.
Nalagay sa strap. Okay, so paano umpisa ng ginagawa ninyo?
Ito yun. Yung strap niya, gagawin natin.
Okay, so ito siya. So ito according to size na yung model nung ano nyo. Cardboard.
Opo, tapos tapos na ganyan siya.
Okay.
Tapos namin yung label.
Lalagay yung label. Ah, ganun pala yun.
Tapos, finish na. Tatayin na lang.
Okay. So yan yung sinasabi nyo 10 na nakaka-20 na pares kayo. Na ganyan. Okay.
Yung pinaka-mahirap. Nag-finish na po siya sa akin.
Okay.
Tapos po, dadalhin na po sa lastic.
Okay, so kuya, ano na yung gagawin dito?
Yung napaka-sensitive na ba?
Gaano ka nakatagal gumagawa niyo, kuya?
20 years.
20 years na. So tagal nan, hindi mo na sinusukat, tansyado mo na talaga. Look at that, eh? So everything's all made out of
I'm gonna get some pictures to this.
they're estimated out of experience, right?
Hang on. I definitely want to get some good shots of it. Because that's why they're so strong. Eh? You can't pull them apart.
Ano na yung nalalagay doon? Ah, rugby lang, simpleng rugby. Ah, ibang special solution. Okay. Hindi ka na nagkakamali sa butas-butas, no, kuya? Ah, meron talaga. May guide na. Okay. Mga gaano katagal yung 5 minutes pagpatuyo?
Sa protector.
Para sa
Para hindi mapulit yung insole would not break.
Ah, okay.
Full.
What is that material? Is it like a...
Plastic.
Oh, just a...
It's a plastic.
Oh, like plastic strapping. So that kind of reinforces it, giving it a little bit of strength. Nice.
Small details.
Yeah, that's where the years of experience come. You start to know what works and what doesn't. Just pull it through. Yeah.
That's a secret now. Secret.
You know, I'm actually surprised at how much work goes into making a flip-flop. This is like, I'm very surprised, man. Hey? This is...
when I was on over here,
Yeah.
I was thinking like there are a lot of help from machines and
No,
everything.
man, this is
They're
a...
all manual.
These are
handmade.
handmade. The rubber for the soles and that, is that rubber from the Philippines as well, or is that coming from China? Local rubber. Okay, we've got to note that too. So all the materials are coming local. How about the strapping? Local?
Yeah, local.
Okay.
So pagtapos yan, saka ilalapat yung malambot na
Yung swenas na.
swenas
Kasi nasa pangdas.
sa paa. Ay hindi, ito pala yung malambot.
Ito yung muna niya yun, yung kailangan kanina.
Yung matigas. Oo.
Kung may
So napagdikit, tapos ito yung maghuhulma dun sa hugis ng ano, ng goma.
Yun yung ano gilid.
Okay. So, pagkakinis,
Kami nga. Natanggal yung dust.
okay.
Kaya tanggalan ng alikabok.
Tapos yung packaging niya.
Okay. So, napaka manual, mano-mano, no? Walang ibang factory.
It's really manual.
Tapos yung
Ito na yung
finished product.
finished product.
Ito, sandals. The finished product.
So you can see here, Philippines, 1 for 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got the PhatKatz, proudly
logo.
displaying the Philippines.
Philippines.
Yeah. And then on the other
Bottom.
side, again, we have PhatKatz again. And really, like the quality of the flip-flop is top notch. I discovered them by chance by going to the Soria, and these were the only flip-flops that would last me any length of time. All my friends from Maliwag and those areas there would keep asking me to, oh, when you go there, please pick some flip-flops
Okay.
for us because you know they really last and they're very comfortable. They're gonna wear out the sole well before any of this starts to pull apart, and usually that's not the case. The most common failure with flip-flops is guess what?
It hurts in there. Yeah, that part, right.
And these are super comfortable too. We decided to go with the cloth too for that reason. I've never liked the plastic type flip-flops because what happens is they create a lot of friction between your toes.
Right.
And I would get blisters myself, and that's not a very cool thing. So yeah, make sure you get yourself a pair of PhatKatz flip-flops, and just know that it's not just good for your feet, it's good for the community, some of the communities here in the Philippines, and some of the kids that really need help. So support.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Kaming tumataas yung ilog, hindi na kami mapakali. Kasi kinakailangan namin mag-evacuate. So, medyo delikado, kaya ayun lang available.
So how long have you been running the operations out of here?
Two years. Thank God, I've not yet experienced the flooding. Thank God.
So wala ka dito hindi ka pa, you haven't settled here yet when the flood happened.
I got a question for you. How did Marikina get
There you go.
famous or known for becoming the shoe manufacturing capital of the Philippines?
That's a bit difficult question, pero
Are you native in Marikina? Okay.
kasi pinanganak ako magsasapatos na.
Okay.
So, yung history niya talaga, ano pa ito eh, mga, siguro yung sa museum. So, doon tayo magkakaroon talaga ng idea.
So we're just heading down to the Marikina Shoe Museum, which is apparently about 10 minutes from here, 5 minutes. We'll learn a little bit of history of Marikina and how it became the shoe capital of the Philippines.
So, there's a certain Kapitan Moy,
Okay.
diba, who started the shoemaking here.
Is it true that Imelda Marcos
There you
had
go.
many of her shoes manufactured here in Marikina?
Yeah, most
true?
of them
Most of
are
them.
just given as a
Pasalubong.
gift. Yeah.
So as a native Marikenyo,
Shoes are, you see in Marikina, shoes are not that big deal. It's just like, it's nothing here. Some critics, that's masyado nilang pinalalaki.
Okay.
Sinesensationalize nila eh. Sa amin, wala yun eh.
so syempre alam ng iba na binibili nila Imelda given the controversy surrounding her.
Karamihan to, bigay lang.
Karamihan doon bigay lang. Okay, you've heard it from a Marikenyo native. John, you were mentioning something about which product is better. Is it the handmade ones or
Well,
The ones made by the machines or with the help of the machines?
it's hard to say. You know, sometimes the machine-made ones can be a little bit better because it's precision and so on.
Yeah.
But the machines aren't always perfect. And there's something to be said about products made by human hands.
Very hard.
It's exactly right. There's a
Very
heart,
intricate.
and you know, there's also the ability by making by hand, making subtle corrections and so on, where the machine's really not
They can
capable of
backtrack.
it. You've created a job for a human being, where somebody can actually, you know, be fed and do something with that, rather than you're paying money into what a machine made, and you know, the guy at the top is making all the money.
There is a purpose in life. So handmade products. When you patronize handmade products, it's just like helping, giving a hand to your fellow man. Ito yung kapitan mo eh. Dito, this is where the shoes started. Yeah. Okay. Kaya unang paggawa ng sapatos sa gusto.
So ito yung mga celebrity na ginawa nila ng sapatos?
Oh, yeah.
Si Melda Marcos, Paeng Nepomuceno, Robot Marquez, Kuya Germs. Ito lahat ng shoes ni Imelda.
Ilan lang.
Ilan na. There's Imelda Marcos. So, ito yung shoe collection ni Imelda na na-donate sa Marikina. Pero, she has like 5,000 pairs. So a lot of international names and faces. President Jomo Kenyatta of Kenya, Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore, Sri Lanka's first female head of state, Prime Minister Sirimavo Bandaranaike, President Ronald Reagan, of course, among others.
We are the Filipino Friends of God. But sister, naman ako sila nag-donate sometimes sa mga kids. Hindi ko ito na-details. Sister is our in charge in the health department. So she's a nurse, and it's sister by profession.
Yeah.
So I was telling John and all the people from UBC how we come up with the program of taking care of all the clients who are marginalized, abandoned, and very good. And they're quite surprised that we've been operating for hundreds of years just through divine providence.
It's fantastic. Very proud that it's manufactured in the Philippines. Everything that's put into the flip-flops, the webbing, the rubber, everything is all local material. And if you look in here, it says Philippines 1 for 1. And what that is that for every flip-flop that we sell, we're going to be donating a pair of flip-flops to children or to people that are
Less
requiring
fortunate.
footwear, right? So that's what these are about. Now they start with something small, but hopefully it grows into something much bigger. And yeah. So.
This means a lot to them.
Hey, show me a picture of you eating that corn.
You're too late. I'm done.
Alright, sounds clean.